9 British warships, 300 cannons, one half-built fort standing in their way. Inside, a rice planter with 31 guns and barely any gunpowder. His own commander called it a slaughter pen and begged him to retreat. By nightfall, the world's most powerful navy would limp away, humiliated. This is the mistake that cost Britain half a continent. In the 1750s, William Moultrie was just another Charleston planter. Marriage made him wealthy. Politics gave him a taste for power. When war broke out with the Cherokee in 1758, Moultrie volunteered. Frontier warfare taught him something no classroom ever could. By 1774, he was one of South Carolina's most experienced officers. In 1775, Moultrie designed a flag for his regiment. Simple, blue, crescent. He had no idea that flag would outlive the entire war. Across the ocean, Britain was rethinking its strategy after losing Boston. Southern governors swore the region was loyal. Just send an army south. The reinforcing fleet from Ireland was delayed for weeks by storms. The loyalist uprising Britain counted on was already crushed by patriots. So Britain turned its attention to Charleston. Rich, strategic, undefended. Scouts reported a weak, unfinished fort guarding the harbor entrance. That fort belonged to Moultrie, and it was still being built. 2 walls of palmetto logs, 20 feet high, packed with sand. Palmetto wood is soft, fibrous, nothing like oak or pine. In early June, General Charles Lee arrived to inspect the defenses. Lee called it a slaughter pen. He demanded Moultrie abandon it. Moultrie refused. South Carolina's leadership sided with him instead. The fort would be defended. Lee was furious, but had no choice. By mid-June, 2,000 British troops landed just north of the island. British maps said the channel beside it was barely knee-deep. It was actually 7 feet deep, with a dangerous current. On June 28th, Moultrie woke to 9 warships raising their sails. His fort held 31 guns, barely enough powder for 30 rounds each. His order was simple: fire slow, 1 shot every 10 minutes. At 10:30, the British opened fire with everything they had. A bomb vessel began lobbing mortar shells toward the walls. Nearly 300 cannons roared at once. The noise was deafening. And then something nobody expected happened. The cannonballs just stopped. Palmetto wood swallowed the impact. Sand absorbed whatever force remained. Inside, Moultrie's gunners fired slow, patient, and devastatingly accurate. Moultrie's men concentrated fire on the 2 largest warships in range. The flagship took dozens of direct hits straight to her hull. Twice, American fire cleared the entire quarterdeck of every officer aboard. One captain lost an arm to a direct hit. He later died. The fleet's own commander was struck by a splinter and left crippled. A second ship suffered nearly as badly. Her captain lost an arm too. Across the fleet, casualties climbed past 200 killed and wounded. 3 frigates tried to swing around and hit the fort's weak rear. All 3 ran aground on a sandbar nobody had properly charted. 1 frigate stayed stuck. Her own crew had to burn her. On land, British troops tried crossing the channel by boat instead. Colonial riflemen opened fire at point-blank range. Casualties were horrendous. The ground assault was called off entirely. The pinça never closed. A false report claimed enemy troops had landed behind the fort. Moultrie silenced his guns for 90 tense minutes, bracing for an attack. The report was false. Moultrie's gunners went straight back to work. A cannonball snapped the flagpole. The blue crescent flag hit the beach. Sergeant Jasper did not hesitate. He climbed out under full fire. He grabbed the fallen flag and tied it to a makeshift staff. Then he climbed back up and planted it for everyone to see. The flag was still flying. Jasper walked away without a scratch. That evening, Charles Lee returned to see the fort for himself. The man who called it a slaughter pen finally admitted he was wrong. By 9 that night, the British commander had seen enough. After 12 hours of bombardment, the fort still stood untouched. Britain fired thousands of cannonballs. They lost a warship and hundreds of men. American losses stood at fewer than 20 men killed total. News of the victories spread through the colonies like wildfire. Independence wasn't even declared yet. Suddenly, it felt possible. In London, the defeat became a national embarrassment. Songs mocked it. South Carolina renamed the fort in Moultrie's honor. Fort Moultrie. Congress thanked him personally. He was promoted to Brigadier General. Britain abandoned the Southern campaign and sailed north instead. When they finally came back in 1780, they had learned their lesson. They bypassed the fort entirely and attacked Charleston from land instead. Moultrie was captured when the city finally fell that year. The British offered him freedom if he switched sides. He refused. After the war, he became governor of South Carolina twice. He died in 1805, having seen the nation he saved grow strong. His flag still flies today, a palmetto tree added at its center. One mistake in judgment cost Britain years, momentum, and an entire territory. All because they underestimated a fort built out of trees. A rice planter with no naval experience beat the Royal Navy with sand and soft wood, and Britain paid for underestimating him for years afterward. If that surprised you, hit subscribe, drop a like, and tell us in the comments which overlooked battle we should uncover next.